Welcome to Xero Hero, a short video blog from HBA Encompass aimed to make your Xero journey easier. Please note that all the slides today have been created from existing Xero training videos. Xero has rapidly changed in the past few years, so sometimes the pictures are using old screenshots or overseas versions. Where possible, each session is followed up by a live demonstration. If you have any queries regarding any content delivered today, feel free to contact me via email, victoria@hbaencompass.com.au or phone 0754 44 7094. Welcome to Repeating Invoices and Bills. Repeating invoices and bills. From time to time, depending on your business, you may have repeating invoices, and it can be a bit of a problem to go through and set them up and go through and remember to invoice everyone on the 1st of the month or the 30th of the month. And the same thing works with bills. If you have a recurring bill from someone, perhaps you might have a Xero subscription that comes through on the 1st of each month, you can actually set it up so that it repeats automatically without any effort from you. And that's one of the real benefits of Xero and its automations. So when we go into our sales and our invoices, instead of just clicking on New Invoice, we click on New Repeating Invoice. When you go in there, we can set the frequency and the number of months or weeks that you want the invoice to repeat. If it's an annual thing, so you might have an annual subscription for a service that you do, you want to make sure that you set it to once every 12 months. You set the invoice date for the first invoice, so you can't create this backwards. So you can't say, well, I sent an invoice in January and now I want to start it in January. It's got to be the next invoice will be in February if it's the next month. Then we put the due date of when it is, and then the end date. Now the end date's an optional thing. So if you have a proposal where you've given someone a proposal to do 12 months worth of something, you can set an end date there. Just be very careful. I got caught recently where I had an end date on some invoices, and then end of the financial year rolled round, and it wasn't until September that I realised that I hadn't updated the proposal for the client and put the new invoices through, so we'd missed 3 months worth of invoicing. Luckily enough, the client was very good about it, and we just changed it and sent the 3 through, and she paid it in due course. But you do want to be careful with end dates, because you don't get a reminder or anything that flashes up and says that this repeating invoice is now finished or anything like that. The other thing that you can do is you can save it as a draft so that it gets checked each month. When you go into your invoices, it'll show as a draft. You can show it as approved, or you can approve it for sending. So if it's only approved, it won't be sent to the client unless you go into each individual invoice, double check it and hit email to client. If you want them just to go out automatically, you need to approve them for sending. So what happens then is if you have an invoice to Mary on the 1st of the month, each 1st of the month she'll get her email, the same as a normal invoice, that says, "Hi Mary, here's invoice number 62 for your monthly service fee. Click here to pay," the same as any other invoice that you would send, but it's something that you don't have to manually go through and actually approve. So just think about the processes that are going to suit your business there. If you do hit approve, you might find that you put a reminder on your calendar on that particular date, and you go into the invoices, search them, and then you can bulk send them. It's up to you how you want to manage it. Very flexible, but an awesome ability to be able to automate those type of invoices. Bills are exactly the same. We go into our accounts and purchases, and we go new repeating bill. Exactly the same process. So new repeating invoice. And I have a monthly invoice that I want to create, and I want it to start on the 1st of November, and it's due 7 days after invoice. I'm going to end it at the end of the financial year, and I'm going to invoice this to one of my clients. I'm going to invoice it to Bayside Club, and I'm going to leave the reference blank, and I'm then going to look at my items that's there because I'm a bit lazy and I don't want to retype it all. Desktop support. But these guys, we're going to do them a deal. We're only going to charge them $400, and we want to approve for sending. And so here's what it says with the details. We want to mark it as sent. We don't want to approve a PDF because we want to make sure that he clicks on it so we can prove that he's opened it. When we're happy with that, we hit save. So that will now go out to Bob at Bayside Club on the 1st of the month, every month, finishing for the month of June. So you can see here now for our invoices, if I go back to accounts and sales, back to our sales dashboard, you can see that we have draft, awaiting approval, awaiting payment and overdue. The repeating don't show up there, but if you click on repeating, it shows you all of them, any draft that you have, awaiting approval, awaiting payment, paid and repeating. So these invoices that are here are your normal ones. It just adds the repeating button at the end, and you can see the ones that are there and the details. So if you need to go into it, we can delete that so that it doesn't get sent and we don't get those invoices going through to Bob if for some reason it fell through. So very easy and very simple. My name's Victoria Berry. I'm one of the directors of HBA Encompass. So if you need to contact me, my email address is victoria@hbaencompass.com.au, or of course our phone number is 0754 44 7094. Thanks for listening.